Okay, so in a few weeks, in theory anyways, Justin Trudeau's Liberal government should be tabling the federal budget for this year. So that should happen sometime in the month of March. Likely, we don't know when it is yet, but they should be doing this. And in the lead up to this budget process, I can't even tell you how many lobbyists and academics and journalists, everybody is trying to get their 2 cents in to what should be in this federal budget. But something happened this week. I kind of was expecting it. There's been a couple of institutions and a prominent journalist that floated the idea of a GST hike. So there are now people in Canada talking about, on top of everything else and on top of all the inflationary pressure and everything, increasing the GST by 2%. So I have written an article about this for you. It's on my Substack page. I'm just going to take a minute before I break down what's in the article. Many of you know that Google is blocking Canadian news for some Canadians because of Justin Trudeau's Bill C-18. And Facebook has said that they're going to follow suit. I have started this Substack so that I can communicate directly with you. So the link to this article is in the comments. It's being pinned there. Please just take a minute and do two things. Read this article. It breaks down who's proposing the GST hike. It links to all these articles. And also subscribe, just subscribe to this. It lets me communicate directly with you, given that Google is blocking news because of Justin Trudeau's Bill C-18. And it lets you just beat the algorithm. I don't know what's going on, but that's why I'm writing these pieces for you. So the link's in the comments, read there. So let me break this down. So the Globe and Mail reported on a report that the C.D. Howe Institute, the C.D. Howe Institute is like a big think tank in Canada. C.D. Howe Institute put out something called a shadow budget. It's a list of policy proposals, essentially, or positions that they would take if they were the finance minister. And in this document, they suggested raising the GST by 2%. The Globe and Mail reporter who wrote on this kind of took it a step further and said, to deal with the aging population, we need to raise taxes to make sure that government spending is sustainable. I take issue with this for a few reasons, not the obvious reason, which is it would be political suicide for anyone to do that right now. But there's actually 4 reasons, I think, why this shouldn't happen. The obvious one is that Justin Trudeau's government literally redefined what government waste is, right? How many incidences of massive waste? I came to you guys, I broke a story myself a few weeks ago about how they spent somewhere in the neighborhood of $600,000 a person on hotel quarantine stays in the Calgary area. This is a government that wastes money. Why would we be paying for more money, more taxes for government waste? Number one. Number two, the government, you are spending more money. Taxes are being increased in Canada, and we are getting less services, less service delivery, poorer service under the Justin Trudeau Liberals. So why would we increase the tax given that things are getting worse? Throwing money at the problem is irresponsible. I can't even believe people are talking about this. The third thing is we're in the middle of an inflationary crisis where we've seen the Bank of Canada really rapidly rise interest rates or increase interest rates. Many economists don't know what that means for the Canadian economy in the future, but certainly there's a lot of implications that this could lead to a recession. There's a lot of indicators to that. So why would we raise the GST now? And the fourth point is, many of you have had enough. I know I've had enough. We've been asked for several years to trust the government and to do our part. And the government has failed on a lot of fronts, to put it mildly. So to ask for a 2% hike to the GST, a consumption tax, at a time where all of these things are happening, that's not a good policy at the best of times right now. I think it would make a lot of you really angry, and justifiably so, and we don't need that. So again, I have linked to these pieces in this article. The link you can see in the comments. The link is in the comments to this piece. Take a minute, read it, and most importantly, I just ask you to subscribe. Again, we know that Google News is blocking news In Canada, our Google is blocking news. Facebook has said they will do the same because of Bill C-18. When you subscribe to my Substack, I'm bringing you pieces like this directly to your inbox. It's not a lot, but it lets me communicate directly with you and you beat the algorithm. So just take a minute and subscribe, and also share this. I think, there's been so much news lately in Canada. If we don't push back on things like this, they get snuck into the budget. So I think that Chrystia Freeland, Justin Trudeau, they need to outright reject. They need to say, nope, we are not going to raise the GST. I know that they're desperate in this budget to do something because of how badly they've managed the Canadian finances over the years, but they need to reject this. There's no way that we should be raising the consumption tax in Canada. It's a bad idea. It's bad policy. Again, the link to my article is in the comments. Click on it, click subscribe, share this video, and share that article, and help me get the word out so that we can fight things like this. Working hard for you. Have a great day.